Welcome back, everyone. I just wanted to say we've seen a lot of pictures and videos on social media really giving visibility to the forum, so that's really great. And if you're about to upload something, also please include our hashtag that's on the board there on the left. For the next session, that is entitled The Future of Family Support Workforce Skills, we have with us Andy Lloyd, who is an independent social work and leadership consultant based in the UK, who will act as a chairperson, and he is also leading our policy and practice group. So, Andy, the floor is yours.
Thanks very much indeed, and good afternoon, colleagues. Thanks for coming back. It's later on in the afternoon. We've heard a huge amount this morning and this afternoon about family support and all that really interesting and rich research. This is a session which explores the future of the workforce and what the workforce need to do really high quality family support. And I'm really excited and privileged to be chairing this session. Colleagues alongside me, I've got Professor Nevenka Cherigat from the University of Belgrade. I've got Associate Professor Nina Michel from the University of Ljubljana, and I've got Associate Professor Mariana Bușuceanu Vabrea from the University of Moldova, and then as a respondent, Johanna Schema, who is the head of European delegation and Vice President of Make Mothers Matter. So I think you'll agree, a really interesting and skilled group. So I think we're starting off with Nevenka.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Andy. We'll present now the work, actually our achievements of Working Group 4, or we're calling ourselves Skillful Group, because we are dealing with collecting data, analyzing documents, and researching, did a few researches regarding the skill qualification of family support workforce. And we collect 24 members from 9 European countries. And during these 4 years, we really passed a great way and produced a lot of papers and a lot of maps and catalogs and reports and things like that. And our main aim was to develop a common framework for standardization of skills as the basis for harmonization and consistency of competencies of family support workforce across Europe. Our final product will be ready for dissemination for a few weeks. It is a catalog of family support workforce skills, so now I'm taking a privilege to announce it. So when we are talking about family support workforce skills, of course, it sounds familiar, but a little bit strange, isn't it, when we are talking about that? Because we had a lot of problems when we are trying to establishing a concept and to understand what it is. First, the term skills is very familiar and very commonly used in many occasions and in many settings, and skills are very well researched. But there is not really agreement what the skills are and how to put it in practice, of course, also in many things. Also, family support, it's a concept with different problematic definitions, although we work very hard as a network all this time and made a lot of progress. But family support workforce, who is there, who is not, why it is there, why it is not, and then their skills. What does it mean? In order to achieve a clarity, to achieve a recognizability, to achieve really simplicity and logical coherence of this kind of concept. And actually, what we started actually to map the professions and occupations who are involved somehow in family support. And we find it in 5, fields or 5 professions, actually. It is psychology, social work, pedagogy, health, and law. And we find that there are specific professionals or group of professionals into those professions, but also allied paraprofessionals with a lot of different names in different settings in different countries who are dealing that kind of work and who they have their names and their code of conduct and their some knowledge and experience, and we actually start to map what's going on in different European countries on the field in order to connect them. Some of that professions and occupations or paraprofessionals are practicing some kind of family support or some part of family support are not recognize each other like family support workers. Some of these professions also do not recognize themselves as family support workers, but some are do. But we're trying to find a way how to connect that and to find what is it the same and what is it the difference in order to establish some knowledge about a set of skills who should be applied in this kind of work. So actually, when we start to conceptualize these things, we are thinking that family support is kind of job or kind of area or kind of field which is provided on different sector level and different governmental and non-governmental organizations, internationally and domestically, of course, with relevant social systems. So systems who are dealing with families in order to provide some kind of support, like a social welfare, health, mental health, education and justice, also from different professional domains, frameworks and domains like social work, psychology, pedagogy, medicine, law, and paraprofessionals, allied paraprofessionals, and who have some skills who are using in that kind of job in order to provide developmental, compensatory, or protective support to families and their members. So that was our starting points, and then we did a lot of work regarding this. So first we start to mapping the different kind of organizations who are dealing family support internationally on the European level or on regional level. Some of these organizations are organizations of professionals. Some of them are interprofessional. Some of them are covering some specific fields. And we actually group this kind of organizations and made a catalog of maps. Actually, we made the free catalog of maps. We made the catalog of these family support organizations, but also we separate subgroup of family therapy, occupational therapy, I don't know what's going on, and the paraprofessionals who are dealing with that field, and not only dealing with that field, but have some documents who document that they are doing actually family support, and also youth support organization who start to flourish, I don't know, 15 years ago probably, according to some European policies, but I don't see a lot of expansion in that area recently. And actually we make that map and sort a little different kind of document and analyze that context and find some things. And our next step was systematic reviews, and we did the systematic reviews of peer-reviewed journals and also separately of books from the field of family support, broadly spoken. And also we find that everybody talking about skills, and that some skills are called with the same skills with the different names, or the same name is used for the same skills, and that some skills are used interchangeably with terms of competencies, and then it is very hard in literature to find what is knowledge, what is skill, what is approach, what is that, and we try to sort all this out and to find out what is family supportive there. And also we had a different kind of consultations, also workshop with stakeholders regarding consultations about that. What is family supportive in skills of people who are doing that in practice, of practitioners? So we are not talking, for example, about specific skills in, I don't know, finding some pediatrical problem, but how to do pediatric work on a family supportive way, of course. And finally, we did a Delphi study with help of many people, and we collect actually 31 experts. Finally, we collect 31 experts from 23 countries and start to work with them, and we have the free round of consultations structured completely like a Delphi study, and we find out a few very interesting things that we will talk about now, and I hope so that opens up possibilities for discussion and for future development. Actually, family support workforce skills, we understand here, but something that is learned. Somebody could be more or less skillful. It depends of abilities and it depends of practice, but it should be learned to be skilled. So it is very important to adopt that concept that people can learn to be family supportive. But let's see what it is. So learned ability to do things on collaborative ways while supporting different aspects of family life functioning, and ability to use knowledge effectively and readily in performance in serving families, but using holistic strengths and relationship-based practice approach. So we are talking about way of doing things in a skillful way in order to mark something like family supportive. And now my colleague will continue this moment.
Okay. Okay, good afternoon. Thank you. Nela, I will now briefly present the results of our research on the conceptualization of family support workforce skills. And as Nela already mentioned, after the process of mapping and systematic literature review, I think last year, similar time, we organized the consensus building activity workshop with academics and stakeholders, which was a good starting point to prepare a Delphi study. And through the three rounds of Delphi study, the consensus was reached in all examined items. We started the first round with 8 open-ended questions, where we were asking about the understanding of family support skills, the definitions, categorization, etc. And we got quite interesting material from experts from the field. And also we got a challenge what to do with the material, because there were a lot of informations, and it was a mixture of different categories, even though they were named as skills. And this is why we took quite some time to analyze the material, and we, in our research group, tried to categorize the material in different groups, and this was the starting point to design a further questionnaire for the second round, and then for the third round with more structured questionnaires. And as you can see, we got the consensus in the range of 74.1% regarding the definition of family support workforce skill, up to 100% regarding the necessary knowledge. And for core skills, we got, you can see also the consensus based on which we then made a list of basic core skills, and we can say that core skills for family support workers across different professions and settings include partnership and collaboration skills, set of empathic skills, advocacy and empowerment skills. No, I think it stopped working.
Oh, this one's working now.
This was no. Okay, thank you. So let me continue with our list of skills. Advocacy and empowerment skills, good listening skills, problem-solving skills, building trust and confidence skills, and user-friendly communication skills. And we were also curious whether these core skills are also field-specific. So we were also asking participants in the Delphi study, how do they define those core skills in different areas? And based on this, set of field-specific family support skills were outlined in the areas of medicine, mental health, social welfare, education, and law. And you can see how they were listed as 5 most important core skills for family support workers on the specific field. And this enables, I think this is a good starting point to, for future work on evolving the general and field-specific models and the standardization of family support workforce skills through the determination of connections, associations, and also boundaries between the constructs. However, this is our very important product. You can see we wanted to stress with this picture that skills are closely connected to other categories defined in the research. This is what I was talking about when I said that we got a lot of material and we tried to organize the material in different categories. And we tried to show the interconnections in this image on the slide. We think that core and field-specific skills become family supportive when applied within strength-based, relationship-based, and family and child-centered approach. And those skills are applied by practitioners who, in addition to field-specific knowledge, apply also knowledge on family life cycle dynamics and stresses, child development, social context, poverty and discrimination, and also have knowledge about services and systems of support. The application of family support skills is also underpinned by specific traits like integrity, commitment, flexibility, and also different qualities of practitioners, which we named amalgam because there is a mixture of different categories like traits and knowledge and skills and so on. So to be non-judgmental, to have ethical stance in conduct, to manage emotional demanding situations. So we think that skills cannot be taken out of the whole picture. It is important to consider the complexity of the connections to be able to talk about core skills for family support workers. And now I will give the floor to Mariana. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I will now present the practical implications based on our work on VG4. And our practical implications are represented in four domains. The main domain that we understand that is very important. Enhancing professional competencies, that our research provides valuable information on various aspects of family support, and including, as Nina said, mental health, resilience, behavioral intervention, evidence-based therapy, and more. We should emphasize that 22 occupations and 15 paraprofessionals were identified and connected to family support professions. The list is certainly not exhaustive, and nor final, because many occupational names and variations appear among practitioners in different national framework, and some names follow current theoretical and research preferences, international and national political agendas in the field of family work, and are therefore subject to change. Another training and education is very important to develop training programs and educational curricula for family support workers. The study shows that it is important to implement a broader approach to the educational curriculum and training programs when we talk about the future preparation of professionals in the field of family support. It is important to clearly delimitate the spectrum of skills in the professional training process, at the same time to be approached both at the international level, but also it is important to be adjusted, this curriculum or training programs to be adjusted to the spectrum of specific needs at the national levels. The training and skills development process must be continuous, but also it has to be it has to integrate professionals from all levels that are interacted with families. I mean community, local and central decision makers, even if they do not work straight with families. In the conditions of long-term crisis that we are now, like health, like social, economical, the educational programs must combine the skills applied in family support so that the professionals in the field can apply them when they need it. Another domain that is very correlated to training and education is professional development. And it is important to understand that from our research results, it appears that further efforts and developments are needed in terms of promoting and disseminating a framework for standardizing practitioner skills in family support workforce, including family-friendly services and policies. This is important for many reasons, but particularly to enable other professionals to learn from good practice, evaluate the skills they use, and make their work transparent to service users. And our activity in EuroFamNet is a good example for that. Another is not last on our list, bridging knowledge gaps. The scattered nature of literature on family support workers possess challenges in defining skills, standards, and my colleagues mentioned about that. And the research revealed some gaps in terms of recognition and broad representations of skills used in family support work. It is noticeable that the information and data presented are mostly general. and that practitioners' overview and the working principles of skills are rarely presented. Also, we saw that a limited evaluations of skills of references to a standard frame is presented, and multidisciplinary approaches of the family support skills are the exceptions rather than a common practice. And for future family support skills, it remains some open questions. Although extensive research work has been done, several open questions are here represented on the slide. And they are combined through 3 levels: research, practice, and policy. The main question is how can we support professionals to acquire and implement skills to be family supportive? How to further develop interdisciplinary and intersectoral dialogue and exchange on core and field-specific skills and quality improvement of family support workforce and services. And then we have questions for this field, research, practice, policy, that is important to improve, to get answers and improve the all strategic abordation in family support workforce skills. And finally, the final results of VGE4 are integrated into scientific articles and policy papers, and here we have only those that were already edited, and you can find including on our Eurofamnet web. Findings of our study may contribute to further development in the field or of family support standardizations, to the development of skills trainings for different practitioners, organizational changes in services and sectors, and to advanced theoretical conceptualizations of the field. Thank you.
Johanna will then.
Thank you. Yes, good afternoon again. I represent May Mothers Matter. May Mothers Matter is an international NGO that was founded in 1947, and we support and advocate for the rights and the needs of the mothers at different instances at the EU, at the UN, and at UNESCO. Before I start and dive into the paper, I would like to really express my deep recognition for all the researchers at this Eurofam network, all the papers, all the amount of work and the commitment that you put into these 4 years of work. From our work, we know that mothers and their families need support, information, and economic means to be able to fulfill their needs and their role as parents for the well-being of the children, for their own well-being, and for that of the society. We also know that different families live in different ecosystems and require support and attention in a precise, articulated, effective, safe, and adequate way, either in a specific period of time or for longer periods. Therefore, these papers, I believe, helps fulfilling these demands by highlighting the need for a clear and shared conceptual platform, along with a common and inclusive language, as was mentioned, to integrate and articulate activities, practitioners, social systems, and organizations involved in family support. This endeavor holds the potential for precise definitions, recognizability, and transferability of family support skills. We can only agree with the authors that it is crucial for families to count on a framework, on a skills qualification for the family support workforce due to several key reasons. Firstly, a clear framework, as it was explained, ensures that families receive the highest quality of support and services. By defining the necessary qualifications as skills required for practitioners working with families, families can have the confidence in the expertise and capabilities of those assisting them. This framework acts as a guide for families in identifying professionals who possess the necessary knowledge, the experience, and understanding to effectively support their unique needs. This empowers families as well by enabling them to make informed decisions about the support they seek. Families can assess the qualification and expertise of practitioners, ensuring a better match between the specific needs and the skills of the professionals they engage with. And this empowerment allows as well families to actively participate in their own support journey. Secondly, a framework on skills qualification promotes consistency and standardization, as we have heard, in family support services, which is desirable. With a shared understanding of the required skills, organization and practitioners can align their approaches, methodologies, and practices. This consistency ensures that families receive consistent and equitable support regardless of their location or the respective practitioner they engage with. It eliminates variations in the quality of service delivery and fosters a sense of trust and reliability in the family support system. And above all, it enables the elimination of first and second class of family support services and the discrimination based on the economic situation of the families. Furthermore, a framework encourages collaboration and effective communication among the different professionals and disciplines, as we heard, 5 and then 15 and then paraprofessionals, so a lot of professions and paraprofessions and disciplines who are working in the family support field. By establishing a common language and agree upon qualifications, practitioners from diverse backgrounds can better understand and appreciate each other's expertise. This collaboration enables a holistic and a multidisciplinary approach to family support, where professionals can leverage their unique skills and knowledge to provide comprehensive and integrated services to families. Additionally, we believe that we can only agree with this paper that one central point that was not too much mentioned now, but in the paper it is, that children are best protected if they are provided with responsive support to themselves, their parents, the family, and wider networks. We believe also that it is important to clarify that family support is a broader concept than parenting support, because the focus is on family as a whole and its functioning, whereas parenting and parental skills are only part of various supportive interventions in the field. We believe as well that a qualification framework promotes also professional development and accountability within the family support workforce. It sets a benchmark of ongoing training, education, and skill enhancement. Practitioners are encouraged to continuously update their knowledge and expertise to meet the evolving needs and challenges faced by the families. This commitment to professional development ensures as well that families receive up-to-date and evidence-based support, enhancing as well the effectiveness and relevance of the services provided. And finally, I believe that this paper acknowledges such a framework. It says also that the framework is desirable even from the economic point of view, which I completely agree. States and public finances benefit from the existence of methods based on evidence, avoiding escalation of expenses that can be, as we all know, prolonged over time, which not only negatively impacts the families, but has also subsequent costs that can be even higher or a different category, like absence from the labor market, interruption of studies, violence, stress-related illnesses, etc. Demonstrating with that austerity measures which affect the necessary investment in family services are erroneous measures, since they are threatening the very existence of our society. In conclusion, I believe that developing such a framework on a skills qualification for the family support workforce is essential for families to receive high quality, consistent and effective support. It promotes trust, as I said, collaboration and accountability within the family support system, while empowering also families to make informed decisions about their support needs. By prioritizing the development of this framework, we can strengthen the well-being and the resilience of families, eliminate discrimination based on the economic status, and ultimately create a healthier and more caring society. Now, I think is the time, as we all know it, that is the time that has come, that is, the problem is on our hands, or the problem, not, the solution is on our hands, of all of us, researchers, practitioners, civil society, and policymakers, NGOs, etc., to make the next step by bringing this knowledge to all actors involved in family support, and of course, to the families themselves. As we all know, family support is a right of the child, so we all need to act now to make this a reality. And I think this paper sets already the basis for this.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much to all the speakers for a comprehensive overview of the work done by Working Package 4. Mercedes and Peppa are now going to show us the second encounter between mother and daughter.
¿Cuándo? ¿La semana que viene? Claro. Sí, gracias.
What do you mean next week? Yes, of course. Thank you. I can hardly believe it. I wasn't expecting this. Yes, of course. Thank you. Yes, of course. Yes, we will be there. Yes, Peppa will be there too. I'm sure she will love it. Thank you. So, Peppa, darling. I have some good news to share with you. We've received a phone call. We got the financial aid. We no longer have to worry about being evicted.
Who called you?
Isabel called us.
Yes,
Remember?
I remember.
We went to see her.
Really?
Really?
No, it's not possible. No.
For real?
I
Yes.
don't believe it.
Yes. I mean it. Things are changing for the better. I feel so much stronger. I'm doing an interview. It's next week. I have a job interview.
Yes.
And we were also invited to the parenting school. It's a parenting school. Parents talk amongst ourselves because we're not alone. Other families are going through the same
We
thing.
by ourselves, or do you think it's a lie?
It's not a lie. I'm telling you. Will you come? Come on. There are other kids like you.
Yeah, are you sure?
I
Bit
am
shy.
sure. I am sure you'll do
But
fine.
when shall I go?
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Are you in it with me?
Okay, I will.
Are we in this together? Let's go then.
Where are we going? Come on, I'll tell you many
I'll
other
tell you a few more
things.
things.
Okay, we have a few moments now for some questions. Don't forget that you can put your questions out on the Telegram. We have one here just to start off with. Lucia Jimenez, we've heard from her before, but how do you see the practical implication of training identified skills in collaboration with representative bodies of social workers, social education psychologists, considering the interprofessional nature of the skills that you've identified? So I think that the question really here is, how do we take all that knowledge about what we need the skills to be and convince lots of different professional bodies to join in this particular model? Do you want to take that? Nina?
No, Nina.
Both of you.
Yeah, of course, I believe that a lot of us have to say about this, and these skills are not professionally specific, and of course they are not, and it is very, very good to name it like that it is not something owned by some specific professional field. They are fields, they are skills of helping. And some general skills of helping when they are applied in a specific way. But there are some particular also skills of helping who are very important in family support, like partnership and collaboration, like advocacy and empowerment, which is not so convenient for many other helping settings, isn't it? But if you are doing in family supporting way, that it is really important. So I believe that it is also part of professional socialization when you are start to teach that early enough, of course, but also not only to teach younger generations, because there are some people who are not, who already have some schools and have some knowledge, but also learned and know a lot about partnership and collaboration, but trying to share that kind of language and that kind of thoughts and approaches actually, how to improve that skills in this area, and to do it maybe on a little bit different way in order to really to support families. So I believe it is something about decision and about do you want to be involved or you don't want to be involved in this kind of work and job. And from one point of view and from the other point of view, if you have some kind of policy recommendation to work on that way and the laws that oblige you to work on that specific way, and also managerial and organizational structure who support that way of working. And I believe that most of our managerial and organizational structure do not support actually that kind of work. That's why we are so divided in different kind of sectors in things like that. Then it could be possible.
Anybody else want to come on?
To say something about
Yeah.
this? Okay, yes. I think that it's a challenge for us how to continue with this interdisciplinary and intersectional collaboration and dialogue, because this is something we achieved from these 4 years of study, but I think that there are still things that should be done. I liked very much, I don't know who said earlier, that it is important to step out of this position, this is ours and this is yours, and we should really think together, but not just the researchers, also practitioners and policymakers, but also I think the future challenge is also to hear from families and from children, how do they perceive these skills, what is family supportive for them. So I think this is also something we should research further.
Okay. Okay, another question from Patty here. The Delphi findings were very clear and inspiring. Given your expertise in this field, I was wondering if there were any findings that stood out for you or that perhaps were surprising in any way.
Well, thank you for this question. As I said, and Nela will surely add something, the beginning was in a way surprising because we included professionals from very different fields and expertise, a field of expertise. And when we got the material, it was a lot of mixture. So it was somebody were talking about skills, but were referring to knowledge or vice versa. So after we did this categorizing, we got a lot of consensus already in the second round. And then in the third round, we add some more agreement. We got some more agreements on the skill on the core skills. And also, perhaps what was also, I didn't talk about this, we were also asking about the categorization of skills, and we offered some idea based on previous answers about possibilities of, let's say, hard and soft skills, etc. And what we got from the study in the second round, that the most experts agreed to be helpful to categorize skills in communication, relational, technical, and organizational skills. And this is something that we already came close to during the consensus building activity workshop, but it got clearer in the Delphi study. I don't know, Nela, would you like to add something? What's the problem?
Yeah, I think that one of things that I believe that we solve it, actually, this study solved it, and that the experts and who helped us to think about that and to sort it. Because it was the two schools of thoughts, that is a whole family approach or child-centered approach. And finally, we find it's both. It's and. So that's the point. So the point in family support is that we have both. That they are not competitive. They should work together to produce that kind of product that we want.
And perhaps if I could just add, it is connected to the first question. Through this Delphi study, we saw that at the beginning, also professionals had some difficulties considering from the field they were coming. So let's say we got some answers from psychology, some from social workers, some from law, and so on. And this was helpful from the Delphi study to get to these core skills for different professions. So to step out of this thinking just through one profession and got this broader picture. I think this was also helpful.
Thank you very much indeed, colleagues. I think what I would say in conclusion is more work to be done. We need to take hold of this and now develop something. So we need to carry on and collaborate together to work out how we do this for the better benefit of children, young people and their families. Thanks very much indeed. I'll hand over.
Thank you.